morning to the last day in Sweden this year. I'd like to say it was a peaceful night's sleep, but as you can hear from those kittiwakes arguing over there, it wasn't very peaceful at all, but it was absolutely beautiful. Completely topless, no tarp needed last night, dry night, and the view as the sun was just, I wouldn't say setting, but literally going around the tree line there about 2 o'clock this morning was absolutely gorgeous. Right, so we're stopping in exactly the same place today. We are literally just got to go through all of the kit and everything and just sort out what we need, what we have to throw away, and get everything ready for moving or travelling back to Norway tomorrow. But before we do all of that, we're going to get the pack rafts out, have a bit of explore on Overland, and maybe do a little bit of fishing and just utilise the last time that we've got in this absolutely fantastic part of Sweden. And it is an amazing place, something that is definitely worth visiting and something that draws me back pretty much every year, really. You know, I've been here 2 times in the last 2 years and still not even touched the sides on the, you know, of the area that you've got here to visit. We've done, you know, this main lake here and then the other lakes further down and a few other lakes I haven't done before. But then you've still got the further side down here and Overland, you've got Storeglaw, which is a massive lake. I think there's something like 28,000 hectares of land that the reserve covers. So it's a massive area. Right, gonna get some breakfast, get the pack raft blown out, go do a bit of exploring. Right then, last day. Last chance for fishing. We're going to head out onto Overland and have a bash out here. It'd be nice to catch something out of here. I've only ever caught a small perch out of here, but there are some very big trout and pike in this lake. So off we go, leaving camp behind. We've moved camp from where we were last night. The Germans that were at the hut, they've left, so we've gone onto the hut. So I think what I'll do is I'll just paddle down here a little bit and we'll stick a spinner on and we'll have a go with a spinner. I'd love to be able to get a trout out of here, I really would. Yes, fish! First decent fish in Overland. Don't know what it is yet, but we'll get ready for it. Oh, it's a little jack pike. Oh, where's he gone? He's gone right under that log. No, he's not, he's out now. Well, he gobbled that. I must say they do like their spinners more than the lures that I've found. There we go, another little jack. Alright, let's get this one unhooked. And there we go, little jack from Overland. Well, a non-blanking day. How good is that? Right then, so that really brings us to the end of this series of videos out here in Glaskogen. It has been an absolute brilliant week. We've done loads of kilometres, we've been to loads of different places. Okay, I've been to a few places I've been to before, but this is Jared's first time out here to show him just what the park has got here. So it is coming to a close, really. This is our last night now. We're packing up tomorrow and making our way back to Oslo to fly back to good old Blighty and back to work, which we're both looking really forward to. First thing I want to go through is asked a few questions a couple of weeks ago, and I've got the questions that you've all asked here. So we'll just go through the Q&A and then we'll do a little bit of Q&A about this little trip. So the first question was sent to me was, what does Vildmark mean? Now, I've heard it called Vildmark. I've been called Mark. I get called Mark a lot because of it. Vildmark, Vildmark, all sorts. So Vildmark is a Swedish word meaning wilderness. And I named the channel that because of this place, really. It was a trip out here about 15 years ago, I think it was, when we were visiting this area, and it was just the word, the Vildmark, that I just wanted. I like the word, and that basically, it just means wilderness, and it just says everything about what I do, what I want to do, and what I want to inspire people to do as well. Second question, why do you cook a lot of Polish food? That would be because the Trouble and Strife is from Poland, and I love Polish food. That's probably the main reason why I cook a lot of Polish food. Next question was favourite pack raft. Very, very difficult, really, because they've all got their good points and they've all got their uses and things, but I think realistically the pack raft that I've used today, or used on this excursion, the Micro Raft by MRS, I would say, is probably my favourite because it's so versatile, it's durable, and it's fairly lightweight as well. So I would say that the Micro Raft is probably my favourite pack raft. Best outdoor meal ever cooked for you? Definitely wasn't from the wife. I would probably say that the curry that Si cooked for us, for me and Ginge, in, I think it was March or February this year, I think that's probably the best outdoor meal that's been cooked for me. Best bit of gear. I would say probably the best bit of gear is my Sawyer Mini. I think that's probably the best bit of gear that I've got because it's just a necessity, you know. You wouldn't be able to have decent water to drink if you didn't have something like that. Worst bit of gear.
Me?
Jared, are you ready to start walking again?
No, I found strawberries, so I'm not going anywhere.
Probably my crewmate and my partner on this trip, to be perfectly honest. No, worst piece of gear, that is a really, really difficult one. There's been loads of bits of gear I've brought and it's just folded on me straight away as soon as you take it out of the box. I can't think of one really, worst bit of gear. Can you? No.
No, everything served a purpose really, hasn't it?
I'll come back to that. I'll come back to worst bit of gear.
I'll have a think.
Best trip that I've done. They've all had their good points and they've all had their bad points. I liked Scotland last year. That was absolutely brilliant. I loved camping out on the sea locks there and doing the sea fishing out there. The trip that me and Jared done up to Lapland, that was pretty amazing. And this has been pretty amazing as well. So I don't really have a best trip really. I think it's the, if you turn it into the best country, then it would definitely be Sweden, definitely. Favourite fishing rod, that would definitely be the X5 Adventure by Rigged and Ready, because that is just such a versatile rod. You can pretty much do anything with it as well. You know, your fly fishing, your fixed ball fishing. It's it is my go-to sort of travel fishing rod.
I think as a beginner as well, because I'm not a great angler, I used the Rigged and Ready rod for the first part of the trip, and for access to fishing, availability, how easy it is to set up, and with just a basic set of stuff. Like, I am Papa Roach, the amount of roach I did catch. But yeah, honestly, Rigged and Ready are really, really good for, you know, across the board, whether you're a seasoned angler or a beginner like me. They are fantastic rods to take on trips.
So cheers to Rigged and Ready. One bit of gear you always take. That's probably the spot tracker. I haven't used it this week because there's been absolutely fantastic signal here, but it's the one bit of gear that if you haven't got that ability to raise help in an emergency, then you're up the creek without a paddle, aren't you, really? And yes, I do have it with me. I haven't had to use it, you know, in an emergency, which is quite, you know, a good thing, really. But they also do come in handy if there's no signal. You can just press the OK button, just let everyone know at home that you're okay and your location. So talking about this trip, so this has been really, really good. I mean, I did sort of visit a few places that I did go to a couple of years ago with Matty. because they're great, because they're beautiful. You know, that's the reason I went back to them. And the fishing was bloody good there last time as well. So that's the reason we sort of went that way. But we went to a few other places I haven't been to as well, which was handy really, because that's where we pulled that absolute dog of a perch out of that lake, because I've never been to that one before. Difficultest day, I would probably say it was that hike through that bloomin' brush in that heat.
What, from Start of Glore?
No, not from Start of Glore, from
Fish hole.
From Ursian, yeah, from the Fishhole Lake back to Lilongen. That was the most difficult day. It was about 26 degrees, carrying all of that weight, you know, carrying all of this pack rafting stuff. And I keep saying every single year I'm going to drop my weight down, and I always think, yeah, do it this year. And in the end, you end up bringing absolutely everything with you. Well, not everything, but you know, you certainly bring a lot of stuff, which leads me on to the next question. One bit of gear you brought and didn't use.
I bought and didn't use. My head torch.
Yeah.
I didn't understand why I thought that was a good idea. In the land of the midnight sun, I was like, oh yeah, I'll definitely need a head torch. It might get a bit dark when I go for a wee at night. No, it didn't. It stays light all the time. If you come to Sweden, guys, don't bring a head torch during the summer months. It is pointless.
Yeah, and I brought a Yuko candle as well, especially for this trip, because I thought, well, it might be a bit sort of atmospheric to have a little candle light. No, I didn't even use that. Didn't touch that at all. Best sight of the trip. Visual sight.
Must have been the first night when we got to the first lake, and it was about midnight, and that sun was literally setting right behind all the trees, and it was red. Yeah, it was beautiful. I think all the lakes here are amazing in their own right.
They're absolutely amazing.
That first kind of night was breathtaking. Like, it was really, really good.
For me, it was probably the Dutch girl on the bike that we came across.
Did we?
Yeah, Dutch girl on the bike.
Oh, you might have come across a Dutch girl on the bike.
Yeah, because I was driving and you had your phone in your hand as usual.
Probably.
Best camp.
Um,
I'd say Asian, the wild camp we done on Asian.
Yeah, with the fire pit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was really good. That was lovely. That was hot, but it was a beautiful sight. There's loads of nice places to stop though. Like everywhere we stopped had its own good and bad traits. But the Asian one was probably my favourite. Like, just because of the environment. Yeah. The fact that we were wild camping as well. It's really nice.
What did you forget?
What did I forget? I know I forgot something.
A towel.
A towel, yes. Bring a towel. That's always really good.
Piggybacking my towel. So there's him washing his blooming crotch and drying his crotch with my towel. Yeah, lovely. What did I forget? I forgot the inflation bag from a pack raft.
Good job I didn't.
So luckily he had the one for his pack raft that he was using.
So yeah, the towel exchange was more than fair, I believe. Otherwise you wouldn't have been paddling anywhere.
Worst thing about the trip, and I know exactly what you're going to say.
Oh yeah,
he's been whinging.
I've been whinging about this for days.
Absolute daily.
So for anyone who does come here, just be aware that the water tastes gank. Regardless of how much you filter it, how much you boil it, there's always that taste of peat or pond water, as I like to call it. So I think for me, going forward, if I was to come back and not whinge about the pond water all the time, I'm going to get one of those Lifesaver filters with a charcoal and ceramic in it, just because the charcoal takes out the flavour as such of the water. So yeah, I think I'll definitely be bringing one of those next time I come.
Best thing about the trip? What would you say the best thing is?
I think just the ability to be away, like now, if we're quiet, all you can hear is the fire.
Yeah.
And the kitty wakes occasionally, but otherwise it's just the opportunity to refresh, reset, and just have some mindfulness and like realise that you're not a big thing in this world, and actually that, you know, there's a lot around you to enjoy, and you need to make sure that you enjoy every day for what it is. Like, that's one thing that has been really good about it. It's just the,
I think
like kind of a vulnerability to nature, which is really nice.
I think the thing is, like, for us as well, doing the job that we do, let's say we both work for the ambulance service, you know, we deal with a lot of traumatic stuff, stressful stuff, not major traumatic stuff. We don't see much traumatic stuff, but it's stressful, you know, not just with the hospital waits and everything that's going on, patients getting upset, families getting upset, and it's a lot of stress on us as well. And it just gives you that 2 weeks literally just to just forget about the whole thing and just put into context. You sit here and you put into context, as Jared was just saying, just how minuscule we are. You know, you look at this wide vista from where we're sitting here, and it shows you just how you know, we're nothing. We're absolutely nothing here. And it just allows me to go back and just feel so much rested to crack onto 3 bloody nights that I've got to do as soon as I get back home.
Schoolboy era.
It's absolute schoolboy era.
But I think it's the same as, like, if you're working in the ambulance service or public sector or really in the office, or regardless of where you work, just to get out and just do something you wouldn't normally do is really good. Like, I mean, I'm sitting here carving a spoon. I've made a beaver for
Says it's a beaver, but I think it's something. I think it's for a beaver.
No, it's not. It's a beaver. It's for my little boy. All right, don't crude it up. So, a little spoon and a beaver. I thought my little boy, well, my eldest boy, he can have the spoon for camp, and my littlest one, when he's here, he can have that as a little TiVo or a little toy. So yeah, it's just stuff that you wouldn't normally do.
I've made a whacker.
A whacker.
So yeah, it's been great. I think this area really could be opened up to the UK market so much more. You haven't seen any Brits around here at all. They're all been Poles and Germans that we've seen visiting here, and that's just down to access. But realistically, it's not that difficult to get here, really. You know, £100 flight from Stansted to Oslo, and then a car. 2.5 hours to get here in the car, easy drive as well. You go right past a massive supermarket, as you've seen from the previous video, that you can stock all your bits and stuff on. And then for £6 a day is what it costs to be able to use these little huts, use the firewood, the toilets, and camp here. It's well worth the money. It really, really is well worth the money. So there we go. That is this end of this little trip. Thank you for watching. Thanks for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed coming along.
Yeah, it's been really good.
Whinged so much. Really,
I haven't whinged. I've been a good boy. Just the water. It's just the water. Otherwise, it's good.
So thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel, then please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And please do take a look at some of the previous videos that I've got on the channel from all of my exploits and looking at various bits of gear. And then hopefully we'll catch you next time on the next one.